Hi everyone, my name is Daniel Dalmolin and I'm a financial advisor at Global Financial Consultants. Today's topic is tax part 2. Now if you haven't had a listen to the first video that I put out last week, maybe you should go back and have a look at that video first and then we'll start with this part 2. Now part 2 for tax is mostly associated with people living here in Singapore because we're coming up to the end of the tax year here. So please be patient. I'll be back with some new videos for those overseas. In Singapore, we have 6 to 8 different types of tax relief for people who are residing in Singapore and paying tax here. One of those tax reliefs is charitable contributions. Another one is if you're paying life insurance here, you get CPF relief if you are resident here and you are a Singapore citizen or Singapore permanent resident. If you are either of those or anybody living here as a resident, you can also access a SRS account. Another type of tax relief comes from educational expenses and then subscription expenses. Did you know that you can have a relief or tax deduction of up to 250% if you contribute money to a registered charity here in Singapore? So that means, let's say you contribute or make a contribution to a registered charity of about $1,000. Your tax relief at the end of the financial year here in Singapore will be $2,500. If you've taken out life insurance here in Singapore, or if you have a life insurance policy that's been taken out in Singapore, you can claim up to $5,000 in the year in tax relief. Now there are conditions around Singapore citizens and Singapore PRs claiming that relief, but for other residents of Singapore, it's a clear relief to use. For another type of tax relief is through the CPF system. So for those of you who are Singapore citizens or Singapore PRs, there is a capped tax relief of $80,000 for any CPF contributions. Another type of contribution with CPF is if you contribute to your spouse's CPF account, especially if she's not working, but there are conditions around that. If you wish to contribute to your CPF and you're over 55, so you have a retirement account already set up, there's also opportunities there. But as you know, with the CPF system, there's a lot of rules and conditions. I suggest that you have a look at the link below and go into some details into whether that relief is fully accessible to yourself. The next area of tax relief is SRS accounts. This is one of my favorites because it can be accessed by all resident taxpayers here in Singapore. With the SRS account, what happens, you set up an SRS account. Any funds that you put into this SRS account, up to $15,300 for Singapore citizens and residents, permanent residents, or up to $35,700 for other residents, EP holders, etc., can be put into this account. You get full tax relief up to that amount, and we can invest those funds for you. You can invest those funds, but it is a way to put money away and invest it and keep it there for later. Educational expenses is another way you can gain tax relief. There are a number of good institutions and courses here in Singapore. To qualify for a tax relief, it needs to be a course related to your line of work and needs to complete with a diploma or certificate or degree, and you can claim tax relief. But again, I will put the links in below this video so you can have a look at what are the restrictions and which institutions can gain you a tax relief. The last area that you can claim tax relief here in Singapore is if you need to become a member of a professional body or association or society. In these cases, you can claim tax relief on those annual subscription fees. I have some more details I'll put into the links below. So remember, please have a think about your budgets for the year. Do you have surplus money that you can put aside through an SRS account? Can you make a contribution to a charity or registered charity before end of the year? Maybe it's a good time now to start to think about this, because this is mid-November. You can fix that up before end of November, before things start to get busy. Please have a think about that. If there's any questions you have or anything you'd like to contact, my details are below, email address or telephone. Good luck out there. Thanks very much.